Oh, hello, my fellow chess enthusiasts. We are back at it again with another epic and educational day of chess. I have suffered some losses. I'm just gonna level with you guys right off the bat. So this one, we're going all out because what's another loss? So we're gonna castle opposite, launch some pawns, and see if we can calculate a checkmate. We've got a 1925 opponent from Iran. Looks like he only really plays rapid and classical. So when the game gets into lower time, I will feel like I have the advantage. I say that in every video, but that is honestly how I feel. When people don't play a lot of blitz and bullet, I feel quite prepared. So we're going to just go ahead, develop a pawn. If this comes out, I think we're just going to trade it. We're going to develop a knight. I think this is just a very basic, standard, completely symmetrical structure where the opponent can go for my light square bishop. So pushing this pawn is sometimes advisable. We're just going to tickle this guy. We're just going to tickle him. He scoots back. We don't really want to allow all of this. So what if we literally just copy you, bro? What are you going to do? We're going to just go ahead, pin the knight, because we don't want this knight jumping forward. And here's where the calculations come in. If this happens, he hits me again, I scoot back, his knight jumps in. Potentially I jump forward, but then he takes, then I take, my pawn structure gets ruined. We don't really want to see this trade, but we are going to do it. It damages the pawn structure, and it prevents all of this nonsense with my pinned piece. Got to develop the bishop because I still have not made a decision on where to put the bishop. My knight is still very much pinned, but over here we have an open b file, so castling that side doesn't seem so much fun for me or him, because if I castle, then this pawn will only be defended by my king, and his rook is one square away from coming down and attacking it. So I would love to castle opposite. Should I still do it, even though I know that it's not the best move? Because he's not castling this way. But it's just it's some risky business for me to castle the other way. But we're gonna tempt fate with the idea. We're gonna move my queen up just a little bit. He can ruin my pawn structure, but then we have an open g file. Do you want to do it, bro? He could maintain the bishop pair. He does have the bishop pair. He's got the bishop pair, but he's got a slightly ruined pawn structure. I feel like he's pretty much got a castle. Like, what else are you gonna do? But what if I just launch a pawn and don't castle? No, we need a castle. What am I talking about? I'm trying to help you guys get better at chess, and you should generally castle. Like, there's very rare situations where you shouldn't castle. Probably like 1 in 25 games you can get away with not castling. And then even castling opposite is just generally not always the greatest course of action. But this guy has the exact same rating as me, so it makes me think that with rapid, we're more or less equal. And so as the clock keeps ticking, I think that the favor just greatly shifts towards me. And so what are we going to do here? He could just immediately apply pressure here. That's an option. My knight has literally no forward momentum. I don't know what he's spending an entire eternity deciding what to do. Like, bro, just castle. That is the right move. What else is there to even think about? Yeah, he absolutely did not. That was a horrible usage of time. And now, the moment of truth. We castle opposite because that's what I promised. So we're going to go for it one way or another. And I'm just going to absolutely apply the pressure. Okay, so this fork is something that we need to deal with. If I take, he kind of fixes his pawn structure, so I don't love that. I can pin the knight. Then he jumps in. My knight jumps over to this side of the board. How's that looking? Let's do it. We'll jump over like this. He'll hit me. I'll scoot back. If he hits me again, he can't be doing that. You can't be making too many pawn moves now that he has chosen to castle on this side of the board. So, should I keep my knight over here on this side of the board to be a defensive piece, or should I just completely invest in the attack? Boom. That seems sketchy, but we're going to go for it. And if he takes here, like I said, that kind of opens up this file. I'll have less pawns, like essentially to chip away at these 3 pawns. Normally you want at least 2 pawns to get into this position here where they are forced. The ideal situation is get this pawn here and the next pawn here. Then they are basically forced with the decision of push and I take, or push and I take, or they take, and then it's just not great for him. And so I would assume that this is still a very equal position. Okay, so he jumps back. I don't know what that little head bobble was. I mean, if I just take, I don't know if I love it. I don't think that I need to do anything. If he takes, I mean, I can take with the knight. So what if we just take this time to advance upon one step more? That is what I'm thinking about immediately. And then maybe we have an attacking game, but if we end up trading the queens here, okay, so he scoots back. I can push my pawn yet again. Then he pushes. Then I take. Then I push. He could step back, but then I push again. We're going for it. And now his knight needs to kind of... Ooh, he could do this. Counterattack. There's no other move. We counterattack this guy. Make a getaway square. We step back. Look how far my pawns have advanced. This was the situation I'm talking about, and I have almost achieved it. This pawn push now makes a whole lot of sense. Like, yes, you would potentially grab this pawn. Here, 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 here. I need one more piece. Or we bring the knight. I think we bring the knight. One more piece, a little bit more able-bodied and ready for the attack. The rook is coming over here. And if you see, I am slowly encroaching on our enemy's king. Every piece has just taken one step closer. Even this rook castled over here. This rook was already doing a great job. Thanks, rook, on the H-file rook. This is an option, but I can take. And he takes. Then I jump in. If he takes, I take. And we shred open the position. If he allows me to play this, like if he plays here, here, take, I might take with this, and then we have an open G file that seems a little bit delicious. And so the last game that I played, I recorded it, but I'm not actually going to post it, but I'll tell you guys about it now, is we got into a crazy opposite side castling game, and there was just an attacking idea that I was not able to find. It was ridiculous, where I sacrifice in exchange my rook for a bishop because I had extra pawns, 2 extra pawns that would have been impossible to stop. Hard to see. Okay. What are we doing? This knight needs to move because we want to launch this pawn. But I think just putting my knight here can't be a bad move. Something like this could be quite scary, actually. That actually might have coaxed our opponent into playing that type of move. And he's got this square down pat. Okay, so he attacks my queen. Check. Here, I get into the position. I like it. I like it. There's also this, but then I'm just really opening my so I think I need to do something like active. And I think taking here with check is quite active. Although he could just scoot over. Check. If he scoots up, then I block, then I take, then here, then check, and I'm getting checkmated. We can't be allowing all that. So yeah, I could hit here, but if he steps up, then sacrifice, he would then take, then I take, then he takes, then I take, and then I lose a piece at the end of it. This is like the only diagonal into the position. So here, here, check, here, my queen comes up. If you take, I take, defending the knight. So here, 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 queen gets in. If you take my queen, I come in, I'm defending the knight, I'm also attacking the bishop. What am I doing? I'm holding the wrong knight. We're going to go for it. Sacrifice the knight. Let's go. I spent all of that time. Okay, so he wants to just allow this. We get in. Then this pawn push, all of a sudden, this is the move. That's the whole reason that I calculated literally all of that. He could probably just bring the bishop back. But then I might bring my rook over. And then just get ready for this push. I could maybe even push it immediately. Okay, so he wants to sacrifice. I mean, I can trap, but then he just shreds my position open. I don't even know if we need to worry about that side of the board. We simply just... Oh, we have this check. Check here. What's the follow-up? Check, then he just gets in. It's not what we want. We need to open up this file. Then he pushes, but then I push forward. You could defend like this, but then I do something. I think immediately this is what we need to do. He could try and like make a run for it, maybe. He could just make a run for it, actually, now that I'm looking at this. But then I have two passed pawns. And the attack fizzles out, but I have two passed pawns. And I could literally just push it again. And so his bishops are scary. This is scary, but I think my stuff is scarier. I hope I'm not evaluating this wrong. And he is up material, so I pretty much need to do something, you know, like good. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I can take here, here, check. But if he pushes, right, then I push forward and I attack the queen. Ooh, it's a double threat. This is actually more of a crazy pawn push than I thought originally. Because if he takes, for one, I might throw in this check first. Let's calculate this. If he takes, I think I just take with this. Then his queen would have to go over here or something, but then I line this up so that I move my bishop anywhere and we're good to go. So if he pushes though, then I push forward, threatening checkmate on this square and attacking the queen. So he can't push forward. He can go for a run or he can take. If he goes for a run, we hit him with the check. No. If he goes for the run, check here, check here. I'm not going to get a checkmate. Going for the run might be what you want, but then I can push with check. He would have to go here. And then I push forward and hit the rook. You come over and block it. Sacrifice a knight. And I can pretty much trap this bishop at will in the end game. And so our opponent's spending a considerable amount of time on this, which makes me think that this position is a little bit more catastrophic than I'm even calculating. Because yeah, what was I saying? He takes. Then I hit the queen. The queen has to scoot over. Right? Take. Or just this. And you'd have to scoot here to defend that. But then I could jump in. You could defend like that. What did I calculate immediately? Okay, so I'm not sure if that fixed his problems. I like the simple take. Then you take back with the knight, but I hit you with this check. I also can just push, and I'm like essentially sewing a little mating net. Take with the knight. Check. Only move, and I win the queen. So here, if he takes with the rook, then I hit him with this check. Then I hit him with this checkmate. So I think I take. But then we might see something like this. No, because then I just hit him with this check. He slides over here. Hit him with this check, here, check, and then I forked him at the end. I'm almost just guaranteed that I take here, right? I might have even calculated something and forgot about it. Push forward, here, check, here, check, here. I think we take. Taking with the knight. I just opened up the G file. And he's got no useful check. So yes, he can go for this. But I think I check here. He scoots over. Check here. He scoots over. Check here. Fork. He goes here. I take the rook. He goes in. And then I just get a rook, and then I'm a rook up, and I have an endgame that's quite favorable for me. What else is there? Take, here, check, scoot back. I think what I calculated was good enough. This check. Right? Is there anything better? What about sliding in? You take, check. Wait a minute, is that checkmate? Here, you take. I slide over with check. You slide here. I hit you with another check. You slide up. I hit you with the knight. You slide back. I hit you with the pawn. You slide over. What am I doing? Here. Here. What did I calculate? What do I do? We slide in like this? No. We slide in with the rook here. If he takes, I take. Only move. Check. Only move. Check. Only move. I don't think that's good. Is winning the rook really the best? We go here, 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 here. We get a rook. I don't love it. But that's what we're going to do. And then I can trap this bishop, and then he'll take. His rook will get in. So we're going to go for this. He steps over. And then I just have this passed pawn. So I want to check this with the computer. Was there a better attack? Like, I really couldn't figure that out. We're just pretty much going to take this rook regardless. I need to take something, and then it's more or less even. But then he can get out of here. And this is defended by the bishop all the way across the board. I should have realized that, but I didn't. I completely discredited that this bishop could do anything in this game. But I'm up 2 pawns, like for a bishop, of course. But I've got these pawns, extra pawns. He's got an extra bishop, so he's gonna have to step over, and then I just take, right? And then if you take here, I might just start pushing this pawn, dude. Or I might trap the bishop. Trapping the bishop seems fun too, because take. You got to do something. I could even step up and defend it. I think that this is just a lost position for our opponent. I was able to just slowly move my pieces forward. Now, I better not just, you know what I mean? You don't count your chicks before the eggs hatch or whatever, but I feel quite positively about this game. And if my face is super bright, forgive me. So I don't think that was a good idea, because for when there's this check, the whole idea was to just take there. I have this check as well, because like this is going to attack over here, of course. But I can hit you with a check. I mean, you can scoot forward and go for this pawn. This is defended by my bishop, but I can trap your bishop and lose 2 pawns, lose 1 pawn essentially even. We hit you with a check. I mean, if you go here, you are really asking for it. If you scoot over, you're also really kind of asking for it after I do something like this. So 1 minute for our opponent. This is an incredibly difficult to defend position for our opponent. And now I'm up the exchange. So I win every single endgame ever. Plus, I have this pass pawn. So he shouldn't resign because there's so much stuff going on the board. But it's a bad position. If he scoots forward, I mean, I don't know what this move was at all. He steps back. I want to get rid of this bishop. I didn't even realize he doesn't have to take. I would have to waste another move. So he could actually like defend it like so, actually. So it's locked out of the game. Stepping forward kind of walks into another check, so I'm going to just do this instead. He could bring a knight. I kind of thought for some reason that he had to take. I might scoot and just start pushing this pawn. Ooh, he wants to free him. He wants to free his lost comrade. We scoot back. I don't know if pushing that pawn does anything. What is the best move? We fork this. And then take this pawn all the way over here. I mean, this is kind of a scary move. But once he gets in, his bishop gets out. So let's do something smart and fast. What about just push, push, push? I mean, this is held. I'm going to push. He's on a dark square, so if I can ever get my bishop over here. So you can take, take, take. I think that I have to take this. His bishop gets out, but I'm not sure where the bishop even really wants to go. This is the only good square. I'll take him here. I'll take him here. So he can go here, but then I might just push my pawn forward. We're going to go ahead and give him some time. I know if we were playing some serious chess, I would never do that. We push this forward. Okay. We're going for this. You have to defend it. If I go here, he's got another check. If I go here, he's got this. No, he doesn't. I can hit him with this check first. He needs to defend that. Okay, that makes sense. I think we push. No. What if we slide in? Here, what am I trying to do? Let's just make a move. 57 seconds. Oh boy, how do I actually make this happen? I mean, we attack. I want to like reconfigure this knight, but I actually don't know how to. I hung my knight. Now it's anybody's game. Oh dear Lord. Fudge. Fudge, fudge, fudge. We sacrifice. No, because then he just takes the pawn. It doesn't even work. Oh my god, what do I do? Here, here? Does that work? We go like this. We're trying to figure out how to just wiggle this king away from that gosh darn corner square. This, okay, it's still held. It's still held. I would hate to win this on time. Check here. I think we go for this. We have this. If you get the piece that we were fighting that whole time for. Oh my gosh, and we were able to win. That was sensational. How accurate was that? I don't know. I definitely hung a knight for no reason. I even mentioned that this bishop was cutting this entire diagonal, and I forgot about it. Hard to say if that was super accurate or if just our opponent played inaccurate, and I was able to just take force on him. But I castled opposite. You know, I gave you guys what the viewers want, and so. Dude, I think I really just sacrificed a knight. I just applied pressure. Was it winning? He basically sacrificed a bishop here, but I didn't sacrificed it out of the game. So it just lost play for a couple moves, and that was fatal. So let me take a little guess. I probably think I played 88% accurate. No, that's not true. 85% accurate, I would say, because that was not that great. And that sacrifice was probably not sound. So let's check it with the computer, and I will see you guys over there. And here we are in the analysis. And that was not the most accurate game, but oh boy, was it fun. And I am so glad that I got to play that game for you guys. Straight up, getting better at this attacking chess. That is what we're going for, because I am a quiet, I'm fucking this up. And here we are in the analysis. And oh boy, that was not the most accurate game ever, but it sure was fun. And so we made some blunders, but the blunders were only blunders if the opponent was able to find the exact best continuation. And so sometimes those are in a rapid game, definitely in a blitz, you can do that because the chance of them finding a 5-move sequence that's perfect to defend is really not realistic to find. And so this game, it would have been, but whatever. If we look at the graph, it is an absolute mess where I'm doing quite well. Then I start making sacrifices and making some questionable moves. We gain it back, ultimately have a crushing advantage. I throw it back to a draw that he was never going to see ever. And I even lost a piece. I just completely blundered a piece from a winning position. So I've got 3 inaccuracies, 2 mistakes, 4 blunders, 82% accurate. So I said 85. And our opponent, 75% accurate, 6 blunders, 3 mistakes, 2 inaccuracies. And a lot of those were putting our opponent in a situation where he needed to make one perfect move. So we get a completely symmetrical position out of the opening. This is a complete equal position. We go here. Best move is actually to take. We develop some pieces. We castle. So him castling is an inaccuracy and me castling is an inaccuracy, although the position is still completely equal. So whatever. This is a mistake, although it's still completely equal. So we're not gonna cry about it. We step over, and then this whole idea didn't work because he attacks. If I take, he takes, and my knight is hanging at the end of all this. So let's show you with the computer real quick. I play this. He plays. No, he doesn't. He plays here. If I take here, he takes, and my knight is hanging. So I have to do something about my knight hanging, and it's just not going to be good. I got to step somewhere not great. You can even take this pawn, and so that is what we missed at the end of all this. So what actually happened in the game, I push forward, he steps here, I lock my bishop in, and here I'm really showcasing. I push forward, and this was a complete inaccuracy mistake, whatever this inaccuracy, because he takes. If I take, the knight is hanging. The rook sees the knight, so I take, but then he gets the knight, and then my attack kind of fizzles out. I could go here. I'm still attacking, but I lost too many pieces for to really be able to checkmate anymore. So we go through. Let's see where we're at. He doesn't see it. I step back. I bring the knight, put my knight to the best square. He attacks my queen, and then so it's the second best move. So there's 3 moves in this position. Scoot the queen over, but then my queen is never getting close to this king because I've got so many pieces in the way on the light squares. This is the only route into close to the king. And so I can block, but then this really opens my king up. So that's scary. If I push, take, he hits me with this check. I step up. It's just, I'm opening up my position. And so I realized this in the game, and I spent 2 minutes calculating what we're going to do here because what I calculated didn't even make sense. If he played the best move like I had calculated, he can step over. My immediate idea was to sacrifice another knight. If he takes, I take, he takes, I take, and my knight is defended by the bishop from the king. Unfortunately, there's just a pawn that's going to take the knight. So everything I calculated didn't make sense. I was like, okay, he won't be able to grab the knight because it's defended by the bishop, but he would just take with the pawn, and then I'm completely lost. So what I calculated there from a distance didn't make sense because this was a sacrifice more than one different way. When the king comes up, the king can take it and the pawn can take it. Completely forgot about that, and we would have liquidated way too many pieces for that to work. This is the moment of the game. I would have scooted up with the king. That's what he should have done. But right now our opponent is in a situation where it's a draw, but only if he scoots the rook over. I bring my rook. He comes back and he ejects my queen from the position. I come back and he sacrifices the rook. I take, but now he has an attack. So he sacrificed a rook, but it's still basically, I'm up in exchange and some pawns or whatever. But his bishops, all of a sudden, were doing some defense, but now they are doing some offense, and the knight is coming. I have too many pawns in the way, so these rooks actually don't see the files. And it's still a draw, so it's still a draw here with best play, but that would have been his defensive resource here. He doesn't see it. So what I'm saying is I made a blunder, but he had to find the right move. He doesn't find it, so any move that he makes other than that is a blunder in this position. I push the pawn. He could have went for the run like I calculated. So I think my calculation skills are actually getting better because I do see the best move for the opponent. I kind of calculated if he doesn't do that, if he does anything else, then it's bad. And so I was like, he goes for a little run, but then we still take, and then he takes, but the king will be able to run and live another day on the other side of the board. So either way, we push, we take, and here we go. I calculate all of this correctly, but I wanted to find something better. But unfortunately, all we're going to be able to do is grab this rook at the end of this. So we give the check. He scoots over. The check, it's forced. We hit him with the fork. All of it's forced. We take. He takes. And I just have a completely winning position that I need to figure out how to actually win. We trap in the bishop. I thought to myself that I'd be able to win the bishop, but he can preserve it by giving me this check. And now I just can't get in. So the king is not the greatest attacking piece. So I needed something else over here to do actually some damage. Now, where is it? He pushes, I take, he attacks. I should have pushed again because leaving it there basically put his knight on an optimal square to attack me. So pushing it would have preserved my pawn one more square, and then he would have to figure out what he's going to do about killing that pawn because it is a passed pawn. So if he doesn't do anything, I can just essentially keep pushing it. So pushing it forward would have been the best move. Unfortunately, I pushed the other pawn on the other side of the board. Now taking is a mistake for a crazy tactical sequence. I sacrifice the knight because if you take with the rook, you cut off the vision of this bishop to this square and the rook. So completely opens up this. I give a check. I slide over, sacrifice the rook, and then slide in here with a checkmate. Is this called the Arabian mate? I'm not sure. But the escaping square is classified by my knight sacrifice right here on F7. Okay. So don't see that. Don't hate myself for not seeing all of that. We scoot around, and I needed to get active. I even considered this move, but instead I hang my knight, and now it's a game of chess again because it's not so clear how I'm going to checkmate him, but I'm winning. I'm still winning because I got this passed pawn. I got the two rooks, so we're still winning. Then it becomes operation figure out how to make this king move, because if I make the king move any type way, then we're good to go. So I found the right idea, but I found it one move slower. He could have got a draw here by pushing. Say I play the best move. He can take. His rook gets over. Then whatever I try and do, but he can get in. Okay, he's into the position. He can defend stuff. And so it's back to a draw. But none of that happened. I blunder. Now, I do find the tactical sequence here. The king left this square. The rook is protecting that square. I can literally just play here. If he moves the king, then I can promote like this, and he's going to lose the rook for it. And I can take with the bishop, because if I took with this, then he's undefended, so I would take like this. If he takes with the rook, like what happened in the game, I push this pawn with check, and it's mate in two. Boom. Boom. Wait. Here? Why does it say mate in two? He scoots over, whatever. Oh, there we go. Would I have found that? Probably not. But would I have been able to win this endgame with an extra queen? Yes, I absolutely would. So after this, with 35 seconds, to tell you the truth, we played this. You know what move I'm playing? Take. Here. Bring the rook. He blocks. We take. So actually, I would have found it. It would have been mate in 4 or whatever, but I still got it. So that was a great game. I hope my analysis was good enough. I was able to explain everything. I'm sure I missed some stuff. If I did, just go ahead and put it in the comments. If you made it this far, I love you. You are a legend. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and it is a long road. I think I'm at like 500 now. And so either way, thank you so much for watching my videos. And if you've watched more of my videos, like if this is your first video or if you've watched like more of my videos, please let me know, because I have no idea if people are like rewatching videos or if this is your first time meeting me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm probably talking to myself at the end of these videos. I get like 100 views and my retention rate is like low. So if you're there, you're the only one. All right, take care. Get out of here.